Because I respect the hardworking people of Wisconsin, I will continue to be a good steward of the taxpayers' dollar.
After a year of controversy and a recall effort, Governor Scott Walker gives his second State of the State address.
And lawmakers are mixed in their reviews of a speech that touts changes made over the last year.
Our team coverage of tonight's State of the State begins now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson.
And I'm Eric Franke. The night was not without protests, and our David Douglas has more on the disruptions outside the Assembly chamber. But first, News 3 political reporter Jessica Arp details the governor's plans and reactions from lawmakers.
Well, the governor's second State of the Address had a much more upbeat tone than the first, saying that the state is headed in the right direction, but some strongly disagree.
Tonight, we come together to discuss the state of our state.
In a speech given just a week after 1 million signatures were turned in for his recall, Governor Scott Walker made a case to stay in office.
And we balanced a $3.6 billion budget deficit with long-term structural reforms. We thought more about the next generation than we did about the next election.
It wasn't all cheers in the chamber.
Thank you.
The governor was interrupted 5 times during his address by protesters in the gallery.
Because I respect the hardworking people of Wisconsin, I will continue to be a good steward of the taxpayers' dollar.
But that didn't stop the governor from continuing to roll out plans and goals for the year.
Tonight, I'm asking small business owners from across the state to consider hiring at least one more employee in the coming year. Imagine how many more people we could get working if we all pitched in together.
That's exactly what Democrats say the speech lacked.
Well, we're moving backwards. We did not hear any update on that promise tonight because he is so far off track in terms of attempting to accomplish that goal.
The State of the State address, the governor lays out a vision for the future. All we heard tonight was a detailed listing of the policies that have brought us to this sad state.
But Republicans say they'll continue to move the state in the right direction.
Difficult choices, but when you look at where the state of Wisconsin was a year ago compared to now, it's in much better state of shape.
Now is the time to move Wisconsin forward.
Now, the governor called on lawmakers to approve a mining bill that is set to be taken up in the Assembly tomorrow. He also talked about initiatives to approve student reading in the state, improve school accountability, and eliminate waste and fraud.
And now the governor not only speaking through all of those interruptions, but also spent quite a bit of time calling for civility.
Well, that's right. He never once mentioned the recall by name, but he said he had learned lessons over the years of how not to personalize your differences, about how your opponent one day would be your ally the next day. And he said while people had different opinions, quote, in most parts of Wisconsin is a sense of respect. Oddly enough, he was interrupted during that part of the speech.
It has been an interesting political time. Thank you, Jessica.